This lesson is about visual onomatopoeia. It's a great cross-curriculum project that brings together visual arts and language arts. Now here's my disclaimer. I know that's not what onomatopoeia is. The academic term for these words is autological. And I've posted pictures from my lessons on Facebook before and had people correct me. That's not onomatopoeia, and explain to me what onomatopoeia is, which is, of course, words that sound like what they are. But we're artists, so we don't have to be quite so literal. I'm calling this visual onomatopoeia. You can call it whatever you want. But I like calling it this because students might already be familiar with this idea from their language arts class. If your students are older, middle school or high school, you might teach this lesson in conjunction with learning about graphic art and how graphic art very often combines words and images to promote a project or an idea. Using these elements to support each other really strengthens the message. So if your students aren't already familiar with onomatopoeia, you can give them a quick introduction to the idea that there are some words that sound like what they mean. I also like to show this video. It's a language arts teacher rapping about onomatopoeia. It's very catchy and fun. My students love it. And then we talk about what it means to make visual onomatopoeia. How can you make words that look like what they mean? You have to spell the word, but you also have to draw and color the letters so they convey the meaning even to someone maybe who doesn't speak your language. Cold and hot are the easiest ones to start with. And I asked the students, okay, what did they do to the word cold? What color did they use? What details did they add? What colors did they use for hot? What details did they add? Would this be effective if they had made the word hot in blue or green? What about fast? And we talk about how things that are going fast don't really have these lines coming off them. But it's a visual metaphor. It's a symbol that we understand that means fast when we see it in a cartoon or a drawing. That is associated with the color blue and rain. What did they do to make this scary? Their color choice, their font choice, the little bat. And reviewing these examples gets them started in thinking. Now, some of my students will copy the examples that I've given them, and a lot will go off on their own, which is what I really encourage. You might have so many great ideas for a word that you can do every letter differently, or take your time to make it really detailed. There's so many possibilities, and I like to show them a wide variety. This is a great project because it's so inexpensive. You can use whatever materials you have on hand. I have a lot of samples for them to look at, a lot of materials to choose from, and I encourage them to work small and quickly and do a lot of different words. Just save the ones that came out the best. If they need more help, I keep lists of words that they can look at for ideas. Here's a bulletin board from one year, and here's a bulletin board from another. Let's look at some of them up close. Cold, fire, hot, 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 fire. Cats are easy. So are a lot of other animals. Rainbow and color is a good one to do. Any kind of patterns. Dark, sunny, bright, sunshine and rain, and summer. Adjectives are very good because they're descriptive. Nouns could be good as well. The shark is especially popular, and so are different kinds of foods and objects. Your illustration could be very complex or very simple, and you can make it big or small. I like to encourage them to try different materials and not to spend too much time on any one picture. Often they follow my examples, but this computer was entirely a student's idea. And although I showed them the word broken, the student came up with bones all by himself. Can you find the word boy in the corner? It's in his eyes and his hair. Pizza is an easy one that a lot of students start with, but the kid came up with Pokemon on his own. And I thought this hall was really clever. Several students worked on Mexico, and a student saw a picture of that work and made their own Puerto Rico. Notice how the sport is made with a jump rope, green grass, a ball, and a kite. I'm Heidi Howe, and I have several other lessons that involve cross-curricular crossover, such as different lettering assignments, and some that involve math and science. They're all on my YouTube channel.